This cluster of the local questionnaire, Cluster 3, focuses on capturing cases of dispossession, eviction, displacement, or relocation from land, resources, or property without adequate consultation. Eviction, so the act of expelling someone from their land, quickly becomes a central theme in this cluster, and so it's relevant to look at what international law says about eviction. The Commission on Human Rights have made it clear that forced evictions constitute a gross violation of human rights. The Geneva Convention and related protocols prohibits the displacement of civilian populations and the destruction of private property. The Committee on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights has also made it clear that forced evictions are incompatible with the requirements of the Covenant, and also it conflicts with the right to be protected against arbitrary or unlawful interference with one's home, which is an article of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. The UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples also holds that Indigenous peoples shall not be forcibly removed from their lands or territories, and that no relocation shall take place without the free, prior and informed consent of the Indigenous peoples concerned, and after agreement on just and fair compensation, and where possible with the option of return. In situations where evictions are deemed necessary because of a legitimate public purpose, for example, building a school or hospital or establishing a road, then governments have certain obligations in the process, and this includes exploring alternatives to avoid or minimizing the need for eviction in consultation with affected persons. Also taking special measures to protect and ensure non-discrimination of women, children, youth, older persons, Indigenous peoples, ethnic and other minorities. There must be transparent and participatory planning throughout, and it's important that anyone who is likely to be affected is identified and informed with reasonable notice. There must be, and this is very important, genuine consultation both before the decision has been made, during the project and also after. There must be provision of access to remedy and legal aid for anyone affected, and prompt, adequate, fair and just compensation for any material or other losses. You can find more details in General Comment 7 from the Committee on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. In the online local questionnaire, I'll click on Cluster 3, Protection Against Dispossession and Land Grabbing. It's important to emphasize that this cluster seeks to document incidences where people have been dispossessed, evicted or displaced without consultation. So you will find some questions here about whether you've been dispossessed, evicted and displaced, and also whether there was consultation. Please note that there is a whole cluster on information, participation and consultation coming later. So consultation in connection with development projects or any other measures that affect people's land will be further explored in that cluster. So this is simply about consultation in the case of displacement and eviction.